State Representative Rosemary Brown of the 189th District, which represents Monroe and Pike County. We're here today talking about poverty, which is not always a wonderful subject to talk about, but a much needed subject. We have over 12% of the population in Pennsylvania that we have on our latest study that deal with poverty. So it is something that we are struggling with. Well, we have a wonderful program in Monroe County that is called the Bridges Out of Poverty Program, and it is on its second full term. And as we talk about the subject matter more, we'll explain what we mean by the second full term, because it's quite a lengthy program, but a very good program, and a program that truly helps people get out of poverty. And we're very fortunate to have leaders like you. We have Arthur PIANCONE. Am I saying it right, Arthur? Because I always with the last name.
That was perfect.
PIANCONE. He runs the Bridges Out of Poverty program. And then we also have and SHIRLEY and DORIS with us today, who are mentors with the Bridges Out of Poverty program. And we're going to speak to them a little bit about their role and how they've helped to develop the Bridges Out of Poverty program, and also how they are helping individuals who have enrolled in the poverty program. So I'm going to stop talking now and let you talk a little bit. Arthur, let's start with you. And we did a show about a year and a half ago when the first program was starting, but this is a little refresher to talk about what the program is, how people enroll themselves, and how it works as far as the link to the program, and then the mentor, and so forth. So we'll take it with you.
The part of the Bridges Out of Poverty that we're going to talk about is called Getting Ahead, which is a class for families that are coming from either generational, situational, or the working poor. And it's a program to help move them forward, to become self-sufficient, and to increase their economic viability. So families come from a variety of referrals from agencies within our county, such as Children and Youth, Head Start program. We've had ministers refer families. And the second class, we are in our second class right now. The second class, actually, the majority of them came from word of mouth, from graduates of the first class, or reading articles in the paper, or seeing the program on TV. So it is a program that runs for 20 weeks, and it's a class where they investigate their lives and understand that they have to make changes in their lives, understand that full-time employment is necessary to become stable, and with that, the fact that they will lose benefits, and then move forward for themselves as well as their children. And then there's a second phase after the 20 weeks, which is the mentorship program called Pathways. And that's where members from the community work with the graduates for a year and a half to provide the social network, the social resources, the social capital, and the support mechanism that families will need to move forward. Because as you said, the number of poor has increased, and when this program first started, and it is a national program, it was considered that it would take a person 2.5 years to move forward. Now with the economics of our country and our county, it's going to take anywhere from 6 to 6.5 years.
And that's interesting, because just the way the world has changed
Yes.
in general with job opportunities and the economy overall. So now I know a lot of this information because I've been working with you, but the program, 20 weeks, and they come for once a week, right? For how many hours?
Well, they come once a week, and we start each meeting with a meal that's provided for the families, and that's for the children as well. And the meals are given to us by a variety of different sources throughout the community, agencies and groups and individuals that feel this is a viable program. And then we start our meetings at 6 for 2 hours, where we meet with the adults. But the other component is that we do provide a children's program, so they can bring their children. They don't have to worry about childcare. And what we have done is we have written a curriculum that is based on the adult curriculum that is age appropriate for children throughout, ages 4 through 18. And so they work for 2 hours with volunteers from the community again, and volunteers are crucial to this program. and they work with the children going through bullying, finances, emotional resources, and just like we do with the adults. So it's a total family program. It's not just for the adults, it's for the children as well.
Which is nice, because when you go together and you're working together on the same initiatives. And we are going to talk to some people who have been in the program in a little bit. So we're going to jump ahead to once they complete the first phase, then we move on to the mentorship section. And we have our mentors here, so we're jumping a little bit ahead, but we'll go backwards and talk to people who have been through the first phase of the program. But since we have our mentors, I thought Doris and Shirley, you could tell us, introduce yourself, what your background is, and how you got involved in the program, and how you feel that it works.
My name is Doris Neff, and I got involved in this program through Art and Ruthie at church. I was an educator for 37 years, but I'm retired now. And I sort of missed the interaction with children, and this was an opportunity that came up, so I started working with the children's group in the Getting Ahead portion. And then this past year I became a mentor with the other group, and I'm also working with the children again. So
that's great. So you're using your career, your career into the program as well. Now, as far as being a mentor, do you have one person?
Yes.
Okay, so one person.
There are two mentors and one mentee.
Okay.
And I'm glad for that, because my mentee is she's going to school to become a home health person. And that is not my expertise, but I felt my expertise was working with the family, and I'm trying to make her aware of noticing any changes in family members, especially the children, and to remember, that they're making changes also with this Getting Ahead.
Absolutely.
And to keep that in mind, and that's the whole reason why she's in the poverty program, is to get ahead. So.
Yeah, that's interesting, because if you think about the family and the kids, and you think about what they're thinking and what they're feeling, and sometimes that's always, you're so busy trying to work through the program that you might miss some of that. So that's an interesting piece that you can offer. So that's nice. So there's another person who is maybe in the healthcare arena that might be able to offer something else to that person as well. Great, great. Now, you were right from the ground level, Shirley, right?
Yes.
You helped start the program, spearheaded it right before it even came in to play.
Yes, I was recently retired, so I decided I wanted to do something with my days to help out with, volunteering. And there was a poverty simulation being held, and I thought, well, that would be an opportunity for me to see at least what was going on in that area. I am retired from Pocono Medical Center in the radiology department as the clerical supervisor and the information specialist. So my background had nothing to do with most of the social services, although I do volunteer with other agencies at night. So I wanted to, as I saw this, thought this is an excellent opportunity to see how I can be of support to this program. So I got involved as a steering committee, and the more I learned about it, the more I really appreciated what Art and the Bridges program is going to be doing for our community. The 6-month program that Getting Ahead is for the mentees is just amazing in what it supplies to their needs as they form their own goals. They're not, being told what to do or how to do it. They have to form their own goals through that 6-month period. And then we step in as mentors and support them through the next 2 years as mentors to them, just giving them the support that they need to keep on focus with their goals and to do things that they need to do to make that happen for themselves.
We could all probably use mentors and a refocus of our goals, and where we want to be in 6 months or a year. So it really just makes sense.
Yes.
And when Arthur and I first met and discussed the program, I remember saying, this makes complete sense, and this is really something that people will learn from, make their own decisions, and they'll get ahead from it down the road. And I think the mentor part of it is very, very nice, because I'm assuming you're developing friendships as well.
Yes.
And you will continue to after the first class and the second class, and you continue to go on. How many mentors are there, Arthur, right now?
Right now there are 25. We're shy of few for the number of mentees we have. But the response from the community in all aspects has been overwhelming. a little bit of a challenge, but again, the number of people that have said and stepped up and to volunteer for the program has been something that has only increased my humility as far as what the community is willing to do. And if you think about the mentor portion of it, we all have had mentors in our lives to get us where we are. Those that are in poverty, however, or those from generational poverty or even situational poverty, many times the mentors they have come from the same background. So the mentorship, they don't have the resources that are available, or maybe the mentorship really isn't the best in all cases, because we talk about choices and how some of those choices have not been good. So having mentors from the community, in this case, just gives added support to what is necessary.
Yeah, it has to be scary when you think about somebody deciding to change everything and step away from the way that feels very normal to them or very common to them, to try to help them get ahead in a different way. It has to be very scary. Now, we'll go back a little also, because this is a voluntary program. So if you're watching and you feel that you could really benefit from it, you have to sign up for this program and get in touch with somebody to do it. It's not, something that you have to qualify. It's just something you do qualify in a certain way for it.
Yes.
But they will work with you. And who do they call, and how do they get involved in trying to get themselves?
Well, if they're interested in either volunteering to be part of the program in the children's program or mentorship program, or if they're interested in joining the next Getting Ahead class, they would call Pocono Alliance at 570-517-3953. Or they can go on PoconoAlliance.org and get the information there, talk with me, and then we can discuss where the options might be for the future.
Good, because I know that there'll be many more classes as you go ahead, and you're in the middle of the second class right now. So I'm sure there'll be many more, and I've heard wonderful things from the community about it, and I've seen some of the graduating class of the last session, and we are going to talk to them in a few minutes. But we are going to take a quick break, and we will be back to continue our conversation with Bridges Out of Poverty, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Did you know that the main entrance to the Pennsylvania State Capitol building is home of 2 bronze doors that each weigh over 1 ton? As the primary entrance to this beautiful architectural building, the bronze doors signify the many accomplishments and sacrifices endured throughout the history of the Commonwealth. The magnificent archway over top the doors contains a portrait of William Penn, founder of the Keystone State. The upper panels on the doors commemorate the forming of our nation, with the signing of the Declaration of Independence and Constitution. The bottom panels depict the laborious industries of the Commonwealth, including coal mining and agriculture. Now you know.
Did you know that the state capitol is not only the epicenter of the Commonwealth's governing bodies, but was once home to 390 preserved Civil War flags? During the war, it was customary for each state to furnish their regiments in battle with flags representing their contribution to the Union Army. After the war, Pennsylvania's military department was responsible for collecting the flags, and in 1872, they were reverently housed in the Capitol. Following the completion of construction on the new Capitol building in 1914, the Civil War flags were removed to the Capitol Rotunda. They were kept untouched in custom-made flag cases until 1982, when the Capitol Preservation Committee initiated its Save the Flags project. Throughout the years, dust and display of the flags had begun to devastate the brittle silk fabric and painted designs. The flags were removed by local textile conservators and were repaired and preserved in storage units that protect the relics from light, dust, and excessive handling. Now you know.
Welcome back to the Legislative Report. I'm State Representative Rosemary Brown, and we are having a conversation about the Bridges Out of Poverty program in Monroe County. We have Arthur PIANCONE, the Executive Director for the program, and we have also been joined by two mentees who have been in the program, the last program, Anna Kabishner and Carmen Franco. Thank you very much for joining us today. And we wanted to have you here because the program has been really throughout the community been spoken about so highly, and it's been very successful. And you two have gone through the program, and you're the best people for us to speak to. So what I really want to know is how you found out about the program and how you decided to sign yourself up for the program. And you're both single moms, right?
Correct.
4 children and 3 children, so very busy households, we know that. And so a big change and something that really takes a big commitment from you as well. So let's start with Carmen. Carmen, how did you find out about the program and how did you decide to sign yourself up for it?
I found out the program through Head Start, Pocono Family Services of Monroe County, where my children attended last year. I was a little hesitant for the program because I tried so many, but I went with my gut feeling and I tried it out through one of the advisors that she recommended, so I joined.
And because you've tried some other programs or you had faith in some other programs but they really didn't work out, what did you find different about the Bridges Out of Poverty program?
They kept me motivated in the goals that I want to accomplish, and they have positive people that will push me to where I want to go in the future.
We know Arthur's very positive.
Yes,
he always
he is.
say that. He's extremely positive, and Ruth, his wife.
Yes.
And there's many volunteers, like you said, I've seen how positive they are. Did you find yourself at times struggling to keep going or to say, questioning?
I did, especially for my health, because I'm always in some injury. I'm accident prone.
Right.
But it kept me, like I said, it kept me going because they do motivate you to come. They do show interest. Yes, we want you there. We want you to come, you and your children. That's also a positive thing. My children enjoyed the program as well. They learned a lot to socialize with other children as well.
Great.
So that's the motivation in itself.
It is. It
It's a great
is.
thing.
And like I said, it's a big commitment from the full family. And Anna, how did you find out about the program and what made you actually decide to enroll?
Well, I found out it from Debbie Kulik. She's the director of Bushkill Emergency Corps, and I was volunteering at her office at that time, and she told me about this program, and the moment she told me about it, there was kind of no-brainer for me to join it. It was one of my most challenging times for me and my kids, and the program was wonderful. It provided support, knowledge. Arthur was still is very positive, and it was like a light every week to go there. So it was something to look forward to for me and for my kids.
That's great to hear because, it is, like you said, it's a long program. It's 20 weeks, and you meet once a week for 2 hours, right? And 2 or 3 hours, almost a little probably over by the time you get there. And you, now you are on to the next stage where you have your mentors,
Yes.
correct? How do you feel the mentors side of it is working for you now? Was it Anna?
Well, for me, I continue to have a support. I have accountability to somebody. The part that people volunteer their time, that they take time out of their lives, and everybody lives a busy life, to come, to help, to see what they can provide you with is very significant. So you're not taking their time lightly. You don't look at this, they're getting paid for that, so they already get whatever they need to get out of this. But they do that out of their heart. They want to help, so it brings the accountability. You can't just ignore that.
Which is nice. It keeps you motivated
It keeps
to
you
keep
motivated,
helping each other.
It keeps you in a structure. You know what needs to be done. When you see them, you have to provide some kind of answer. And you can't provide excuse, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, just because I have 4 kids. You still have to do that.
So they're watching over you. How many mentors do you have right now?
I have 2.
You have 2?
Yes.
Good, good. What do you feel that you call them on a lot? Would it be more financial decisions, or is it just overall an education? Like, what do you feel that your biggest benefit from having the mentor, besides, you know?
They see things that I might not see, just because I'm in the middle of the picture, since it's my life, my goals, I'm in the middle, I'm more attached to that. I don't see something objectively. They able to see it, they're able to point it out, they're able to get my attention to the things that, oh, that might be not important as I think, but in the long run, it comes out that it's better think now rather than deal with the consequences later.
Right.
So that outside look, very, very important.
Well, I think, you know, we were talking before to some of the mentors, and we all said that we all could kind of step back from our own lives and have somebody to help us refocus our goals and look at things. And we always need that, no matter what stage you are in life, to pull yourself out of your own life and look. And like you said, look for the long term. Sometimes everybody's short term, and you're not looking at the long term and how it could affect the decisions you make now for the long term. Carmen, how do you feel your mentor relationship, and what do you think you utilize the most?
Well, I use her for everything. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm easily discouraged because of everything that I've been through with my children. So any decision, financial, education, even with, I have a special needs son that needs services, I contact her through email, phone, and she just updates me, keeps me motivated. Don't let your guard down, or keep fighting, advocate for them. So she really does motivate me a lot with everything.
Yeah,
And
it does
that's
seem like it
important.
really works, that you know, that program, and then just keeps you on track.
Yes.
What would you say, because there's a lot of local people that'll be watching the show, and obviously this is a local program, even though it's a national program, Arthur has established it locally. What would you say to people who are watching that maybe in a tough situation, probably are good candidates to join on to the Bridges Out of Poverty program in the future? What would you say to them to try to say, hey, listen, explore it, look at this program and how it could really help? Is there anything that you think you could say if somebody's sitting there watching?
It doesn't hurt to try, because I know a lot of people, they're hesitant or, you know, skeptical about programs, like myself I was. It doesn't hurt to try at least once and see for yourself the support that you can get, you know, and I know that many of us need outside support, whether it's emotionally, psychologically. So just try it. It doesn't hurt.
Yes, you're right, and there's no fee for the program.
Exactly.
And it really, what you really need to bring to the table is your commitment
Exactly.
and the will to want to make some changes in your life, which is hard
Yes.
for all of us. To make change is one of the most difficult things, right, in life. But where do you see yourselves now that you've kind of refocused and looked at your goals? And we'll showcase you a little bit here. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or where would you like to see yourself in 5 years and 10 years, and even your kids?
Well, for myself, stability is everything. So I would like to see myself graduated with a stable job, because I'm trying to get into the ultrasound program. My children as well, just a stable, that I don't have to depend on government help for anything, and just maintain myself that way and try to help others as well.
And continue on maybe volunteering down the
Yes,
road,
sure.
like Anna was saying. And you were volunteering already yourself
Yeah.
up with the Bushkill Ambulance. So where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Well, I see myself self-sufficient and firmly standing on my feet by myself and supporting my kids and teaching my kids to do the same for themselves.
Very good. Very good. What do you think your kids have told you, or what do you think they're thinking about the program, or have they told you anything about the program and their experience going through it? Because as Arthur and I were talking before, the monthly meetings, the children get a curriculum as well that's age appropriate
Correct.
to try to also help guidance and give them an education. So what do you think that they're thinking, or have they told you anything?
Well, yeah, they always look forward
very
to going and go play and But they like socializing with the other children. They love to help. They want to volunteer too, so, and help in other ways as well, whether it's in school or in the community. So I'm proud of them in that.
So they understand the concept of the program, that
They
a lot of
do.
people are volunteering to try to help,
Yes.
which actually is a
Yeah.
very good part for them to realize.
Right.
And Anna, what do you think your kids are thinking, and if they've told you anything?
Well, my kids are still young. They're all under 7, 7.5 and under, but they're always excited to go. Whenever I say we're going for the evening school, they're excited. They're ready to dress themselves and get out of the door, which is, with 4 kids, is a challenge sometimes. You have to have a motivator strong enough for them to do it themselves. So
Right. So that's a
very
sign
big-
right there.
Yeah, that's a sign.
And nobody's kicking and screaming and
No.
not getting dressed. And, right.
No,
Right.
they all ready to go. They're very excited. They always kind of happy to be there.
That's wonderful. How many kids were in your program? Do you remember?
There were 40 children that started in the program.
That's right, because
Yeah.
there's less children in the second program,
Right, there's a few,
There's
fewer
40 children, so
right.
that must have been fun.
And I have to admit, that was one thing that I wasn't prepared for, was
Right.
not the number of children, I shouldn't say it
The
that way. I
activity
guess.
level?
No, actually the impact that it had on the children, the teen group and so forth, and the fact that the children, they couldn't wait to come to class. And, we didn't have a structured environment the whole time. There was playtime, but the impact on the children, the growth that I saw in the children with Michael and Anna's children, and how they really were looking forward to getting with the volunteers that were working with them. So I wasn't really prepared to see that impact, and it was something that was very good to see, and had made us do some adjustments for some other things, but it was a great thing.
Well, and you look at the whole program, and if somebody's getting ready to join on, or if they're going through to the mentor phase, there's got to be a lot of friendships being established between participants and their families, because there's so many kids, and you're meeting every week, and it's 20 weeks, and then you're continuing to do things together as you move forward. I mean, have you developed pretty strong friendships within the program?
We have.
Good.
We keep in contact just to say hi, at least.
Right.
So
Good.
it does help.
Good. And I think that's important for people to know, that it's a pleasant experience and a pleasant program. Although you could be challenged at times because of the change that you're being offered or discussed and educated on, it's a challenge.
All right.
But it's a pleasant challenge, right, most of the time?
There's some issues and things we talk about that are, when we do a lot of self-examination, that are very challenging, and it's difficult at times to, make those decisions, or realize that some of the decisions that were made were not, the best decisions, and so that becomes challenging and becomes emotional. But I think as they go through the program, the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel, because they didn't know that there were resources out there. They didn't know the community cared as much as they did, and so forth. So, and we're wanting to become involved. So I think that becomes the driving force and part of the motivation to move forward as well.
Absolutely. And it's really just a great program to try to help people do better in their lives. And as the government tries to help people, of course, there's resources needed to help people, but hopefully they're only temporary, and you can move on and be in a better spot in the future. And Bridges Out of Poverty and the Getting Ahead program is very good to help with that. And the policy committee will be coming in from Harrisburg to look at the program, because it's doing such a great job here in Monroe County, and to try to take pieces of that program and work it into some of our policy decisions in the future. So I want to thank you all for coming today. Thank you for your hard work in the program. And Arthur, thank you always for what you do for Bridges Out of Poverty for Monroe County.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. And that's it for the legislative report. If you have any questions about this program or any other state matters, please feel free to call my office. The information will be provided on the screen. Thank you.